Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel Blue Lady Couture, and today I'm doing the first video in my next series, which is my first sew along project for 2021. So some of you will know, if you've watched my previous videos, that at the end of last year, to sum up 2020, I kind of had some vague ideas for things I wanted to do potentially this year, but I wasn't too sure. I was having a little bit of burnout over Christmas, and it really needed to take some time just to chill and kind of let my creative cogs start whirring again. And they have. So we're middle of January and we're ready to get started on the next project. But what's it going to be? Well, one clue was actually in the costuming year in review video where I talked about potential projects for this year. So that's your first clue. The second clue would be my most recent video, which would be my Bridgerton review. So obviously when I made my costuming review video, too many reviews. So my end of year costuming review, when I filmed that, I hadn't actually seen Bridgerton. It hadn't come out at that point. It came out a couple of days later, and then I watched it over while I was relaxing over Christmas, and yeah, safe to say I was inspired. And if you want to see my actual thoughts and opinions on the Bridgerton costumes, do go check out my Bridgerton review video. But in general, I really loved the dresses, and I particularly loved the Bridgerton blues, shall we say, and I loved Daphne's dresses for the most part. They were so pretty and lovely shades of soft blue, which is kind of up there in my kind of favourite colour ranges. And as you do, as you're watching costuming dramas, there's always that little bit in the back of your head going, oh, I could make that, or that's got good cosplayer potential, or that would make a really nice project to make. Yes, you can see where this went. And then you start thinking about fabrics and, you know, ways that you could make things. And as you'll know, one of my premises for the past year has been to try and use as much of my stash fabric as possible. And I knew that squirreled away I had potentially the perfect fabric to make a Daphne dress, which is here. So I have 3 meters of this rather pretty powder blue embroidered tulle. So it's not a true lace, obviously, and you know, it's not a silk or anything like they used on the show. They use beautiful fabrics on that show. But yeah, this fabric I picked up, I think it was like an antique and vintage fair, and this lady had offcuts, remnants of fabric, which one of these was one, and I thought it was really pretty and I really liked the colour, but I didn't really have a major plan for what I was going to do with it. It was just one of those. It was cheap and cheerful, and at the time, you know, I was quite happily buying stuff for my stash and not really, you know, thinking about what I was making. So yeah, so it's been sat in my stash for a good few years now. And yeah, didn't have a plan for it until I saw Bridgerton, and I thought, you know what, this might be the perfect opportunity to finally use this fabric. So yes, I have 3 meters of that, which will be just enough to make a Regency dress for me, because I'm not the tallest person in the world, and also wear flat shoes as well with Regency. So yeah, I'm going to use this. And actually, when I was playing around with this width with the lovely finished edge on it, it's actually, it looks really short here, but it's actually just long enough to go from my underbust, my Empire waistline, to just above my feet. So yeah, so I should be able to get away with using the finished edge to do the hem, hopefully. So yes, I'm excited to use that. And then obviously, because this is sheer, I need something to go underneath it. And I had a play around with fabrics in my stash, what I had enough of to make a Regency dress out of, and I didn't really have anything, so I have had to buy some fabric to act as the lining, which, to be fair, out of the 3 fabrics I'm going to be using for this overall project, 2 of them are from my stash. So the fact that I've had to buy a little bit of a fabric, just because this is obviously such a sheer fabric, it has to have something underneath it. So yeah, so I have bought a really lovely, this is actually a duck egg blue. It's quite a dusky kind of duck egg blue to go underneath. And this is a very lightweight satin. It is a polyester satin. Can't really afford to, you know, make silk satin dresses, much as I'd love to, but yeah. It's lovely, slippery satin to work with. Won't I have fun with that? But yeah, so that's going to go. And I just think it's really lovely. It really reminded me of the dress Daphne wears on the picnic with the button my cuff scene. Yeah, so I think that will work really nicely. So that's the dress. And you think, well, what else is she going to make? If you watch my review of the Bridgerton costumes, you'll know that one of my sticking points with the series was the lack of Spencer jackets. And, you know, to me, a Spencer jacket sums up that Regency look. Plus, you know, if I do end up wearing this dress out somewhere, here in England it might be pretty chilly, and, you know, you can't always run around in these lightweight, lacy, pretty dresses all the time. So yeah, a little bit of a cover up. And one of my projects that I wanted to do this year was potentially a new Regency wardrobe anyway, because my previous Regency dress that I made many years ago, it doesn't fit me anymore. It doesn't fit me around the bust and kind of the shoulders and the arms. I've filled out a little bit in 10 years. So yeah, so sadly my favourite Regency Spencer doesn't fit me anymore. So I have been in the market to potentially make a new Regency outfit. And along came the plague, which led to obviously the shutting down of theatrical productions, theatre production companies not being in work, which led to the team behind Hamilton releasing the pattern for one of their Spencer jackets. And as I say, if you've watched my costume year in review video, you'll know that I did talk about this as a potential project, and here we are. I have bought it. Yeah, so I'm really excited because all the proceeds from this will go to the Costume Coalition, which is supporting out of work members of the costuming industry on Broadway. So yeah, so this is the official pattern, which you can buy on Etsy, and I will pop the link to that down below. And I have decided that I am going to do a crazy Hamilton meets Bridgerton mashup and make the Hamilton Spencer jacket to go with my Bridgerton Daphne dress. Why not? You know, why not? And I think it'll be really nice, because I do love this, all the little details on here. So there's got all this rouleau sort of vine work on the front of the bodice, and these really pretty pedal sleeves, which I'm intrigued to know how to make those. So yeah, but all the details of how to do that are in the pattern. So this is just the instruction side. I've still got to print out the actual pattern, which is all in A4. But this will all be in a separate vlog, because I've decided what I'm going to do is try and vlog this in stages. So rather than one huge long video, which I kind of ended up doing quite a bit last year, I'm going to try and cut stuff down into shorter sort of bite-sized videos for you guys. So yeah, so the Spencer jacket will feature in a different video. But just coming back to where we were and the sort of the plans for this, the fabric I'm going to use is a Stash fabric, which is this lovely duck egg silvery blue kind of fabric, it's a silk dupion, which is lovely. It's not too slubby, so it'll be quite nice. And I think I've got just enough to get a Spencer jacket out of, because they don't take too much fabric, which is great. So it's a great way to use up your Stash fabrics if you have them. So yeah, so that is my plan. And then I also hope that I can retrim a bonnet. That's another gripe I had with Bridgerton, was the lack of bonnets. You know, it's Regency, give me bonnets. But again, that will probably be in a future video. first things first is do the dress and the jacket. But before even all that, I am going to make a pair of Regency stays. As I've said sort of previously, my Regency outfit that I've worn previously was made 15 years ago, so kind of quite early on in my sort of costuming kind of career. And at the time, I probably still can, but I could get away with not really having to wear a proper pair of stays underneath it. You know, I could wear a modern balcony bra and it was fine. So yeah, so I've never made a pair of Regency stays before, so I'm gonna give that a go this afternoon. So that is what, if it's not this video, it will be the next video, which will be the official part 1 of making my new Regency ensemble. So yes, I'm excited to give that a go. So that is my plan for my first project, but it's going to be projects, lots of different components. So yeah, so I'm excited to get started. I hope you're as excited to see this project come together as I am. Do let me know if you're working on any projects in the new year, especially if you are also working on a Bridgerton or a Hamilton Spencer jacket project, because I'd love to know and see what you have been creating as well. So if you like this video, do please like it by giving it a thumbs up on the little icon below, and you can like and subscribe to my channel as well, and if you click the notification bell, you will know when my next video in this series goes out, and you can also check out all my other videos that I have put up over the last year or so as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care guys, bye!